The doors to business opportunities in China are open wider today for U.S. companies. American corporate executives signed an estimated 60 deals with Chinese dignitaries last week in Chicago. We spoke to a number of company leaders who are anxious to up their exports to one of the fastest growing nations in the world. Million and billion-dollar deals signed in a single ceremony Friday in Chicago mark the beginning of increased trade of U.S. goods to China, from software to cars and trucks.
This represents tens of millions of dollars of direct export opportunity, tons of opportunity to make money over in China, and last but not least, represents about 200 equivalent jobs in engineering, service, and component support that really come right from this area.
So do they want the big diesel engines over there?
Oh man, they want this. Yes, they do.
Ford Motor Company, which sold 500,000 vehicles in China last year, is counting on an even larger demand from Chinese consumers who want to buy cars from the Ford fleet.
We signed an agreement with the Chinese government where we are going to, over the course of the next few months, negotiate the expanded import of U.S.-made vehicles into China.
China's economy grew 9.4% in the fourth quarter and 10.2% for the full year, according to Bloomberg Business News. Meantime, the U.S. economy grew at a rate of 3.5% for the fourth quarter. Some economists fear China could be on the way to overheating and beating out the USA.
Let's not be afraid of China's economic rise, because it also means the rise of companies like Caterpillar that are expanding very profitably into the Chinese market.
From a Caterpillar standpoint, our experience in China has been outstanding. We've grown in China, and with our growth in China, we've spurred growth in the United States.
Last week, President Obama announced $45 billion in deals in the making with China. Many of them were signed and sealed at the U.S.-China Trade and Economic Cooperation Forum in Chicago, where CEOs celebrated newfound relationships.
We're very excited about our investments in China and further cooperation between China and the U.S.
Still, doing business with China has its challenges, and not everyone is convinced the agreements brokered here will translate into big profits.
I'm sure there's a lot of substance in a lot of the deals. They say the devil is in the details. I'm sure there's a lot of details to be worked out. However, to bear in mind that this is, after all, a big political fanfare.
But based on the tone out of Washington and the Windy City, the overall mood is optimistic about what lies down the road.
I think these deals will really result in jobs, will result in more trade, and ultimately benefit our economies.
Other companies signing deals include Microsoft, Intel, and Cisco.